looks like we've finally gotten the long-awaited post-partisan achievement. The Democrats have joined the war on science and the war on women. It's a twofer. Yesterday, for the first time in history, a presidential administration overruled a scientific recommendation from the Food and Drug Administration. What a proud achievement that is. I'm sure it won't be the last time. Going forward, the Republicans will feel perfectly free to politicize science anytime they choose, and I'm sure they'll be happy to thank the Obama administration for opening the door for them to use the common sense exception to scientific data. After years of study and many years of use, the FDA recommended that emergency contraception, the same birth control that millions of women took regularly for decades, by the way, should not be available over the counter. The Obama administration said no. I suppose we must be grateful they're still allowing grown women to go begging the pharmacist to dispense it to them, along with lectures and judgment about their slutty ways. But the people who could most benefit from having easily available emergency birth control, teenagers, will have to get a doctor's prescription within 72 hours. I'm sure there are no practical impediments to such a thing. The ostensible reason for this historic rejection of scientific evidence is that even though all the evidence says otherwise, they believe young women still might use this contraception improperly and inadvertently harm themselves. Yet they're allowed to walk into any drugstore in America and buy a leave, which until a few years ago was considered a dangerous painkiller that even adults had to get prescriptions for. They can buy cough medicine, which is known to cause hallucinogenic effects similar to PCP. They can buy pain thinner and inhalants that can cause brain damage. Yet they draw the line at this one, and we're supposed to believe it has nothing to do with culture war politics. Please. The administration is afraid that right-wing parents and those who don't understand the scientific reasoning or logic behind making this birth control, like condoms, available over the counter to the public, will accuse them of encouraging underage women to have sex. This is a capitulation to Neanderthal logic of the worst kind. So instead of making a true common sense argument, they will make it difficult for teenagers to get emergency birth control without confessing to an adult authority about their sexual behavior, which is the very last thing teenagers want to do. This form of birth control works when someone uses it immediately after unprotected sex. Making them go through hoops totally defeats the purpose. They're far more likely to just hope for the best, and that means at least some of them will get pregnant when they didn't have to. Today, President Obama made it clear that he was acting as father of the nation's daughters as well as his own when he said that it's common sense to deny teenagers the ability to easily prevent pregnancy. If that's what he considers common sense, he might want to think twice about relying on his own. And I hate to tell him, he was elected to be the president, not our daddy. If parents are worried about their girls having sex without their knowledge, they need to wake up to the fact that they probably are. Requiring a prescription for this form of birth control will not change that. It just makes it more likely that their daughter will get pregnant. Why President Obama thinks that's a good result, I do not know. I'm all for parents talking about sex with their children and passing on their values, but making teenagers bear children against their will for succumbing to the most natural biological urge in human experience seems like a dreadful, superstitious value to me. Making it more likely that they'll have an abortion is more like a cosmic joke. This is a shameful decision by the Obama administration, and it's going to haunt them. For every one of Kathleen Sebelius' phantom 11-year-olds misusing Plan B, there will be thousands of teenagers dealing with unnecessary pregnancies. I hope they can live with that.